Fantasy football waiver wire pickups for week 4. I think Bucky Irving. Right now, he's averaging 7.8 yards per carry. He had 70 yards in the game this week off 9 carries. Similar performance in week 1. 8 carries, 62 yards, 60 yards rushing. He's a better runner than Rachaad White. Rachaad White is just more of a passing, receiving back, a guy you can, dump the ball to. That's where Bucky Irving kind of struggles. But as a runner, the yards per carry speak for itself. Just 9 carries, 70 yards. And Todd Bowles, he said he's earned more reps moving forward. So I expect him to get more involved in the offense, to get a little more carries. Hopefully he could take over as RB1 and shift how you manage these running backs. Rachaad White, more of a third down back. And because he's been an inefficient runner since last year. And, this year it's continuing. So he's really struggled being a consistent guy that can get in between the tackles and get you what you need as a running back. But, third down, check down, receiving back, he can do that. Bucky Irving, I expect him to be somebody moving forward that continues to get a little more usage. So 11 points in fantasy this week. This is a guy, if he's still available, I think he's rostered in 32% of leagues. So go ahead and grab him if you can. The next one, Juwan Jenkins. He put up probably the best stat line we've seen for a receiver in a while. The best stat line for a receiver in fantasy football this season. 11 catches, 175 yards, 3 touchdowns, 46.5 fantasy points. This was a godly performance. And people are saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't have paid Brandon Ayuk. Maybe we should have paid Juwan Jenkins that bag because he stepped up. And in the Super Bowl, if the 49ers would have won the Super Bowl, he would have won MVP. He had that passing touchdown. He had a huge game in that game against the Chiefs. Just a reliable receiver, a guy that's going to make plays, playmaker. Getting this amount of targets and this amount of usage with all your playmakers really out besides Brandon Ayuk. Kittle's banged up. Debo's banged up. He's going to miss time. CMC is, receiving a second opinion in Germany and shit. So, this is a guy, if he's available in leagues, put him in your flex. Because he's going to continue to get production and continue to get looks because Kyle Shanahan, he knows how good this player is. And surprisingly, they really don't use him that much until they need him. And he stepped up big with all these playmakers out for the 49ers. So that's a guy to keep an eye out for. The next guy, Braylon Allen. If nobody grabbed him yet, if you're in a league that, people really are snoozing in, they're not paying attention, they're not active in the waiver wire, or they got a lot of guys on their roster that they feel confident in, this is a guy that could replace Pacheco, a guy that could replace CMC. Jordan Mason, didn't have that big of a game last week. But he is a guy that's getting targets no matter what. No matter how good Breece Hall is, he's getting a workload. He's getting a consistent production. A receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, 23 yards receiving, 30-some yards rushing. You can't keep him off the field. He's too fucking good. If you put him on a lot of other teams, he would be their starting running back. And he's only 20 years old. It's fucking crazy, but he's an every down back. He can pass protect. He's good receiving. He's good downhill running the ball. So this is a guy that you can't keep him off the field. You're going to continue to use him. Could be a flex option for you moving forward. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.